A very good evening and a warm welcome to UVC Television, and we're bringing you, of course, the 360 coverage of the local government elections. And of course, since morning, we have been bringing you updates and what has been transpiring throughout the day, and we continue to bring you more details as we go by. For now, let's get into the news, but let's take a look at the top stories tonight. In our top stories this evening, President Museveni appoints Justice Dr. Flavian Zeija as new Chief Justice. Lower voter turnout reported in Kampala, Lord Mayor and local council elections. Electoral Commission suspends voting in Lira over ballot paper mix-up. And Butebo District Chairperson elections cancelled due to ballot papers shortages. Good evening once again. I'm Lauryn Masaka Kazimoto, together with my colleague in sign language interpretation, Mohammed Mugalu. We start off with our top story this evening. Kampala went to elect Lord Mayors, councillors and District LC5 chairpersons with election materials delivered early in most polling stations across the city, while security forces were visibly deployed along major routes and around selected polling stations. Their presence remained inconsistent in some areas, raising questions about uniform security coverage during the exercise. Our reporter Ivan Kaho followed the situation on ground and now brings us this report.
Materials to facilitate the election of Lord Mayors, councillors and District LC5 chairpersons in most parts of Kampala and Wakiso were already on site by 7 a.m. UPDF and joint anti-terrorism units were seen patrolling several routes across the city. At some polling stations, police officers were deployed to ensure order. However, other polling stations had no visible security presence, leaving them largely unattended.
Is it okay? From the polling station where Elias Lukwago was voted from, you could easily see that the polling station has been accessed by the journalists and even other members of the public. Now, this is the crossing tape where everyone is supposed to operate, just where I am right now. Many people are occupying areas where there are ballot boxes, and from the security perspective, at the time we came at this polling station, there was no any police officer to ensure there is sanity in this specific polling station.
Polling station ekyamazima erina kubeerako basirikale. Oba basirikale balina okukuuma akaguwa kano nga wokalaba.
But that would be a matter of concern because there are areas which are restricted and wouldn't be easily accessed unless you are a voter.
We contacted the police for a comment, but by the time of filing this report, no response had been received.
Keep it recording. Kankubire afande. Is it okay? The incumbent Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago, after casting his vote, the police has now deployed at this specific polling station that had no any police officer earlier on.
Some residents, including Emmanuel, a shop operator in Lubaga, opted not to vote.
Sokando mukunonya akalu bajjanga beetaaga abantu balaga nti babeetaaga babafaako nnyo naye ate tumala obalonda ne bagenda emyaka gyonna gye bamalayo eyo tebakomawo okutulambulako yadde okutubuuzaako embeera butya bwetuyisa.
At the polling center outside Machindi military barracks, road traffic was diverted to allow the exercise to proceed smoothly, with security visibly deployed around the area.
The Electoral Commission was forced to cancel voting in several polling stations in Lida City after serious irregularities were discovered on ballot papers. The cancellations come amid growing concern from leaders over persistently low voter turnout, which they say threatens the credibility of the grassroots democracy and calls for urgent electoral reforms.
Voting was halted in at least 15 polling stations in Lira City West Division after election officials identified a mismatch in candidates' information on ballot papers. According to the Lira City returning officer, the affected ballots had incorrect names and photographs of candidates contesting for the position of woman representative to the Lira City Council for Divisions A and B, making it impossible for voting to continue.
Whereby the ballot for Lira City West A was brought to Lira City West B.
One of the affected candidates, Lydia Kelo, expressed frustration over the disruption, saying her team and supporters had fully prepared for the election and she was confident of a positive outcome before the process was abruptly stopped.
I was very prepared to get off this stress today.
The Electoral Commission noted that the problem was not unique to Lira City. Similar ballot challenges were reported in Akalo Sub-County in Kwale District, Apala Town Council in Aleptong District, and other parts of Lira City West Division. Meanwhile, voter turnout across many polling stations remained worryingly low. In several areas visited earlier in the day, election officials and candidates' agents were observed seated idly due to the lack of voters. At Junior Quarters polling station, only 45 voters had cast their ballots by 1 p.m., a sharp contrast to the high turnout recorded during recently concluded presidential and parliamentary elections. Lira City mayoral candidate Sam Atul, who is seeking re-election, has urged Parliament to address the declining voter interest in local government elections. He proposed holding all elections on the same day as a possible solution to improve turnout.
And if we don't do this, then local government elections will be relegated as something that doesn't matter. Personally, I don't see any reason why the district chairperson, the city mayors cannot be voted for on the same day as the president. There was a public holiday declared, but today there's no public holiday. So that means these elections seem not to be treated seriously.
Atul cast his vote at a Pipe polling station at 1 p.m. By the time of filing this report, tallying of results was still ongoing at Lira City Council Hall. Eddie Ulwa, UBC News.
Thank you, Eddie Olwa. Now, most of the 543 polling stations in Kagadi district registered low voter turnout for the local council 5 and council elections, with both voters and polling officials attributing the trend to waning public interest. 4 contenders are battling for the Kagadi LC5 seat, which are incumbent Ndimwami Yosia Bahunga of the NRM, Eli Gad Tumusime, an independent, Zephania Birungi, also an independent, and Katuramu Augustine, an independent. We have the details.
Following a low voter turnout in Kagadi district, the area returning officer, Mercy Ataho, reported that in Pefu and Chanai Soke sub-counties, both male and female ballot papers for district councillors were missing some candidates' names.
In Chanai Soke sub-county, the ballots for male councillor did not come.
She said the matter was communicated to the National Electoral Commission for rectification. Presiding officers and voters expressed concern over the poor turnout, attributing it to loss of interest among voters.
Voters have low morale for these LC5 elections and the district councillors. So the situation around people, they come just one, then one votes and goes. One votes and goes.
Meanwhile, the Chibare district returning officer, Jacqueline Atuhaire, reported that all 220 polling stations in Chibare district did not use voting machines as directed. Only 2 candidates, incumbent Muhonge Godfrey Kasanga, NRM, and Ivan Kenneth Noob, are contesting for the Chibare LC5 seat. In Kakumiro district, the returning officer said that although turnout was low, 445 out of 446 polling stations used machines. Kahindo Town Council polling station, where the machine was faulty. Incumbent LC5 chairperson Joseph Sentai, NRM, is contesting against Semanda Gerard Apuli.
Citizens across the country on Thursday cast their ballots to elect local council leaders, district chairpersons and mayor of Kampala and other local government representatives. However, voter turnout remained slow at several polling stations, with only a few residents turning up to vote. In Kampala, NRM candidate Moses Kizito Nsubuga and DP candidate Beatrice Nambi Mao, both vying for the Kampala Lord Mayorship seat, cast their votes and expressed optimism about victory.
Voters across the country participated in the local government elections in line with the Electoral Commission's polling schedule. However, voter enthusiasm appeared low, with the residents arriving at polling stations one by one, while some Electoral Commission officials were seen resting or engaging in casual conversations.
buli muntu wanfuna mukagapo ngakasoma tebali wadde nakola ki nalonda ensonga lwaki nange nonze bwomu.
I was born here, actually up there, and it feels good to be back home, and it was, the turnout is not all that good, but let's see what happens.
NRM Kampala mayoral candidate Moses Kizito Nsubuga cast his ballot at Mukwana Kedi in Kampala. He said he was optimistic about winning the race and highlighted key initiatives he plans to implement to improve the lives of city residents. DP candidate Beatrice Nambi Mao, accompanied by her husband Nobert Mao, cast her vote at Mpaji polling station along Busabala Road. After voting, Beatrice Mao expressed confidence in her chances of winning.
I'm expecting a win.
She pledged improved service delivery and inclusive leadership for Kampala residents.
When DP was in Kampala, we were better off. When I reclaim this seat back, we will get back to order.
DP President and Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Nobert Mao stated that the party is committed to regaining Kampala's lost glory should their candidate win.
People are missing DP, and DP will come back in this election because DP is a party of the ordinary people. That's why our symbol is the hoe. When Sebana Kizito was here, he started estates like Namuongo so that the poor people are not chased away. But now the poor people are being chased to Matuga. They are being told go to Luwero. The poor people are being told go to the suburbs. Now they are saying we have Kampala Metropolitan Authority. That means the poor are leaving.
The Kampala Lord Mayoral race has attracted candidates from multiple political parties and independents, including NUP's Ronald Balimwezo Nsubuga, NRM's Moses Kizito Nsubuga, DP's Beatrice Nambi Mao, FDC's Ibrahim Kasozi Biribawa, and independent candidate Nabila Nagai, among others, all seeking to unseat incumbent Arias Lukwago of the PFF. Amwae Vanjuko and Mike Bakabulindi for UBC.
Low voter turnout has been reported across several polling stations in Nakawa Division as voting continued in the Kampala Lord mayoral race. NUP candidate Ronald Nsubuga Balimwezo, who cast his vote at Elion Playground in Mutungo Zone, voiced concern over what he described as declining public enthusiasm for participating in elections.
Across several polling stations visited, even an hour after the official polling time stipulated by electoral laws, voter presence remained noticeably low. This has raised concerns that citizens are increasingly losing interest in participating in the process of choosing their leaders. In Nakawa Division, the situation was no different. At Mutungo Zone 4, where NUP candidate Ronald Nsubuga Balimwezo voted, turnout remained low. Despite this, the candidate expressed optimism, saying that if elected, his leadership would focus on action rather than empty promises.
So you cannot tell me that someone in charge of strategies and the policies, programs in the city, that is ceremony. No, it's not. And that's the reason that I want to take it on, because I have competencies that are desired in the city. I engineer lit, and I have those competencies. So I'm going to make sure that all those poor roads and all other challenges are dealt with as a matter of urgency.
Meanwhile, at another polling station in Imbuya Upper near the barracks, largely serving security personnel, Michael Kabaziguruka shared his observations on the progress of voting at the site.
Not what we would describe as a normal election, because we have a scenario where the EC has colluded with the armed forces to overrun the process. This is no longer an election, but more of a military operation, because soldiers are coming in droves at one polling station, fully in army gear, with hoods, helmets, and you cannot even see who the person is. And the EC, you complain to the EC, says no. Once they have voter location slips, they can go ahead and vote, which is not right, because the voter should be properly identified. When somebody comes and says, I am Kabaziguruka Michael, the agents have a register. They should be able to clearly identify and confirm that this is Kabaziguruka Michael, and that person proceeds to a table where they are given a ballot paper to go and cast their vote. But for somebody to come dressed in, like a ninja, and you simply say once the person is in possession of a voter location slip, let them vote. These people are rushing. They are going out for operations,
In response to the low turnout, Kampala's electoral supervisor, Jennifer Chogutunji, urged voters not to abandon their civic responsibility, calling on citizens to actively participate in the election of their leaders at all levels.
We are requesting that they don't lose hope. They should come and vote for their leaders, because now these are the leaders who are like next or near them. Everything is going to move on as planned.
Robert Katamba reporting for UBC News.
Voter turnout in the Rubaga division elections has remained generally low despite the timely arrival of election material at polling stations. From Lord Mayor candidates to councillors, the low level of voter engagement has raised concern about public confidence in the electoral process.
By 10 a.m., polling stations across Rubaga division, including Bulwa Trading Center, reported significantly low voter turnout despite the early delivery of voting materials. At some polling stations, election officials and journalists outnumbered voters, highlighting an unusually quiet election day atmosphere. The trend continued at Bulwa Zone polling station, where the incumbent Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago witnessed minimal voter participation, attributing the low turnout to growing public mistrust in the electoral process.
The particular one where I vote from, 37 out of 479 registered voters. That is at that particular polling station. I've told you there are others. There is another one with the 560 and another one and so many others. But the particular one where I have voted from, only 37 by 11 out of 479. That tells you the picture of what is happening. Low voter turnout, which of course you can attribute to voter apathy, public despondence, and frustration. Many people are disillusioned with electoral processes. Forbid that we may be having our last days of elections in this country. People are likely to lose confidence and trust in electoral processes, and you may have an election coming in the future where people will say, to hell with elections. Because right now, you can tell from what the mood in the country, there is a lot of voter fatigue.
In other parts of Rubaga, including Namuk Z polling station, and Kenyonge polling station in Musigula town, the situation remained largely the same.
People are telling us, you revote it yourself, we are not coming. So I expect there is that element also, that people we are not happy with the previous election. That's why they are trying, some of them, to ignore this election.
Though the turn-up is still very low, I'm seeing very few people, but I believe they will come. And I'm inviting everyone to come and vote, because these are our leaders. It is our responsibility as citizens to vote.
Turn-up here of our people, it has not been that much. People are still coming, but the numbers are very small. Some people are saying that they are still upset. Others are saying they are annoyed because of the voting process which was there for the presidential candidate. But we've tried our best as observers, as supervisors for our candidates. Even other candidates have tried their best to see that people can come here to mobilize their voters to come and vote.
At St. Cecilia Nursery School polling station in Lule Zone, voter turnout was equally slow, with voters arriving one by one.
Okulambula tukubadde kubibayiza wekubadde kurungi wadde abantu bajja musole naye nga wadde ne ba president tiwaliwo kukayana, tiwali ngumi, tiwali tiyagas. Ekitundu kino kikakamu, ndi musanyufu ku bwekyo.
All right, now as we continue to wait for the results from the tally.
Voting of the road mayorship and direct district councillors or division councillors who are seeking the people's mandate in this election. Of course, joining me here at Kira Road Police Station is one of the aspirants, the lead contestants for the slot of Kampala Road Mayorship, that is none other than Honorable Ronald Balimwezo Nsubuga. We did interact with him earlier on in the day after voting, and he did give us the expectations, his manifesto, what he intends to bring on board if elected as the new Lord Mayor for Kampala Capital City Authority. And now it is a very good evening that once again we join him. We will be interacting with him, and he tells why are we not finding him at the Tally Center, but this time round here at Kira Road Police Station in Kampala. A good evening, right, Honorable, first and foremost.
Good evening to you and good evening to all our viewers. My name is Balimwezo Ronald Nsubuga, the incoming Lord Mayor. I am here first to appreciate the people for voting me as their next Lord Mayor. Believe me, I have not been one in any polling station so far. And that's a credit to my people. But most importantly to the Almighty God, who has appointed me as that Lord Mayor that is required in such a time.
Are you declaring yourself?
Already, proof is already there that I've practically won every polling station. The only challenge is that these mafias want to lob us of our victory. And that's very unfortunate, intolerable. You know, for every polling station, there is what we call a black box and a tampered envelope, tampered-proof envelope, where these results are supposed to be taken, put, sealed, and taken to the returning office. Unfortunately, in almost all polling stations, the black box was not sealed. And because we had trained our agents, they demanded that, according to the guidelines, these tampered envelopes must be sealed, and as such, even the black box must be sealed. The black box is supposed to receive all the voting material after election, but they did not seal them. I went to a number of polling stations.
How strange is that?
Very strange, because it's the only way they can cheat someone. They can alter results. And we cannot accept that anymore. It was done previously, and that's the reason that majority of our colleagues, their results were altered. And eventually, guys stole their win. We are not going to accept this time. We are exhausted, we are tired, and this must end. We are not going to allow this.
Do you have particular polling stations you can share with us where such has happened?
For instance, in Mutungo, Chiduka, by the time I went there, they had failed to to seal those boxes. Neither did they seal the tampered envelopes. I was called by my agent, my supervisor in Ichigowa. 3 polling stations had not been sealed. I mean, the tampered box had not been sealed. And I demanded why. When my agents demanded that they should be sealed, they were arrested. And that's the reason I'm here. But I've reported at almost every leadership point in security, so that they do the needful of making sure that the victory of people in Kampala and my personal victory is not stolen away.
Have you brought to the attention of the Electoral Commission this matter?
You know, I knew about this 2 days ago when younger people came to me and told me that there is a ploy of stealing my DLR forms, and that one of the candidates had promised 10 million to each of them to make sure that they buy off DLR forms. And on that day, that candidate gave them 500,000 each. You get the point? I went to Electoral Commission and reported the case. And I told them to be vigilant. In fact, they had even to change some of the staff because we warned them. That's what I was told, that some of the staff were changed. Because practically, results can only change after connivance between the candidate and the EC. It's not going to happen to me. This is victory for the people of Kampala. They have yearned for a leader that is going to change lives of people in Kampala, and that leader is me.
I was going to ask the question, you once served as a councillor, you served as a mayor for Nakawa, you have been serving as a member of parliament in this ending term. Yeah. What exceptional services or service are you bringing to Kampala as a road mayor?
Kampala has quite a number of challenges. First of all, the leadership has a problem. We have a leadership gap that I want to address. We must work together to develop Kampala. People of Kampala need services. They don't need wars, they don't fights. We lose over 8 billion in wars in Kampala. And that must end. People need road infrastructure. People need better garbage management. People need better schools. People need better health services. People need services that will take them a mile away. People need good businesses, a good economy. And I believe I am that person that is going to make sure that every Ugandan enjoys Kampala. Because Kampala is for all Ugandans. It's the capital city of Uganda, the face of Uganda, the economic hub that needs attention. But the money that comes is always stolen away. They are receiving a leader who is not corrupt, a leader who will see that there is a value for money.
Okay. Honorable, you are 8 candidates vying for this particular post of the Lord Mayorship of Kampala. Yeah. How do you rate yourself among the 8?
People have made proof to this, because I've practically won every polling station. I have served from youth level. I've served as a chairman LOC1. I've served as chairman LOC2. I've served as a councillor. During the Savannah tenure, I was a councillor in KCC. I have served as a mayor. During my tenure as a mayor, I was one of the best mayors in the world, nominated by America. I was one mayor that was nominated by Turkey as the most patriotic Ugandan. And when I went to Turkey, Uganda benefited. You get the point? Countries like Korea, China, Japan have awarded me. Because of my experience, I've been able to benefit the people of Kampala. And I do believe that the people of Kampala have been waiting for such a leader, and God has given them that leader. I've offered myself to lead our people, to make sure that we have a city that the people of Kampala deserve.
You talk of being patriotic. We all now, we are very much aware that already the next government will be led by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of NRM Party. You hail from National Unity Platform Party. How are you ready? How are you planning ahead to ensure that you work, to ensure that your manifesto correlates with the sitting government?
You have not gotten information from my party. I have a president whom we believe that won the presidential election.
There was someone declared as a winner.
Yes, I know that. But we are here to give the country the next step of action.
Let's make this very straightforward.
What was your question?
My question was, will you work in the next government as a road mayor if elected?
He has been the president of Uganda, and I have been a shadow minister of Kampala in the alternative government, and I've performed, and that's the reason that people have given me the votes. You get my point? I have served as one of the best leaders. I have only served one term per level. Has anyone ever done that in Uganda? Only me. I have a record of that. And the people give me because I offer those services that is there in a government that is not so straight. How have I done it? We have a budget. Appropriation is made by Parliament. And I've been one of the members of Parliament. I lobby for my Kampala. And I've done a lot for Kampala in terms of lobby. You can ask the Minister of Kampala. You can ask the Minister of Kampala. I've been at the forefront of making sure that Kampala gets its part. And I've done that. So I have already been working with ministers. I don't need to go to the president. But in case it happens, they give me an agenda, I'll take it to my party. A clear agenda. What we are going to discuss, not to just take tea. I'll take it to my party. I'm very loyal to the party, and the party will basically approve this and guide me on that. Every member, even in NRM sponsors members. I've been sponsored by my party.
But to serve your people?
To serve my people. And that is very key. Are you aware that many people, including those in NRM, have given me their votes? Why? Because they need services. Yes.
Well, Honorable, let's end with this. Kazimoto, you will just excuse me for 1 or 2 minutes. We wind up with this very simple question. Over the years, for the last 15 years, since the KCCA Act, which brought in place KCCA, Kampala Capital City Authority, which now saw the emergence of the road mayor, there's been a lot of politicking and cheap talk, if I can say. The position of road mayor, I did ask you this one during when we had a very brief after your casting of the voting, that this is merely a very political and ceremonial position. No, are you very ready to go and put on your gown as a road mayor and enjoy pancakes at KCCA?
No, I am ready. The position of Lord Mayor is a very serious position. The Act clearly states that the Lord Mayor is the political head of KCCA. The Lord Mayor is in charge of policies, programs, and strategies that will enhance service delivery. So he's the cook, and the ED serves. The ED actually works for the Lord Mayor. Because whatever policy, strategies they approve in council will be implemented by the ED. So you cannot tell me that it is a small job and you minimize it like that and then you come and compete for it 3 times. No, it isn't. It is the reason that he has come back. And it is the reason that I'm coming to offer myself to the people of Uganda as their Lord Mayor, because it's a key position.
Well, right, Honorable Balimwezo, we shall say congratulations in advance. If just in case, we will wait for your swearing in ceremony.
Thank you. I will invite you. I will invite you. I want to appreciate all the people of Kampala for voting me as their Lord Mayor. I'm not going to disappoint you. Believe me, I'm one of the best leaders and a leader that is very competent with experience spanning, I think, about 6 years. 36 years leadership. I am one of the most experienced leaders. Thank you. May God bless you.
Honorable Balimwezo is a politician, and if we don't cut it short, we shall find ourselves having a night here on the streets of Kira Road Polling Station. Kazimoto and our viewers, what you have heard are the direct views of Honorable Balimwezo, but of course, the major emphasis he has been putting in place is that indeed he's offering himself to serve. But before that, we'll all put our eyes and ears on the ground to ensure that we give you the last final. Of course, the last verdict must come from the Independent Electoral Commission of Uganda in as far as announcing the victory of the 22nd January 2026 Lord Mayorship race here in Kampala Capital City Authority. I'm Robert Onyango, and back to the broadcast house at Nile Avenue. Kazimoto, enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you so much, Robert Onyango, for that interview. Indeed, he has, I should commend you, you have asked the right questions to, of course, the Kampala Lord Mayor. Hopeful that under the NUP ticket, that is Ronald Nsubuga Balimwezo. He has expressed himself. Of course, he's given an update on how the voting went on, and given you also a CV of how he has risen the ranks to where he's reached right now, and a very confident man in winning claims that he has won the Kampala Lord Mayor race. Well, we take a very short break, but we return with more stories after this.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby. You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Where are you coming from?
From NSSF.
NSSF? You traveled all the way from Namaguli to get NSSF services. Lekanawe. You walk on the area. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you.
You can register for NSSF. I'll contribute to your Simate life. Now deep down in the Barara. Make NSSF payments. No hala okube karangala. NSSF sure is not far. But tomorrow kuhika gotido. Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments and contributions to your Smart Life account. NSSF, a better life.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical-looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome home to entertainment. To Wi-Fi everywhere. To high-speed internet. To security. To first-class support. To convenience. Welcome home to MTN WakaNet, superior internet for every home. Visit www.mtn.co.ug/WakaNet. Welcome home. Together, we're unstoppable.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR, and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
Ochikoze mwana, shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're nah. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800 217 200 or WhatsApp 0707 993 930.
Wendy Wonawoli.
Welcome back from that break, and we are glad you're still with us this evening. Still more news stories tonight. Voter turnout remained low in the local council elections in Chira municipality at most polling stations visited this morning. Area leaders attribute the poor response to limited public awareness about the polling day and the absence of a public holiday to allow residents to participate in electing their district leaders.
Chira municipality in Wakiso district is made up of 6 parishes: Chireka, Chaliwajala, Chirinya, Kira, Boyogerere and Chimanya. Despite early arrival of voting materials, only a small number of voters turned up to cast their ballots. At Chaliwajala B polling area, which has 6 polling stations, some stations were still struggling by 10 a.m. to secure the required 10 witnesses before polling could commence.
Polling material going early, and the polling process started very early in the morning. However, the turnout so far has been so low.
Some polling officials were seen waiting for voters, while others sat quietly or briefly rested. Nonetheless, a few polling stations registered voters, trickling in one by one. Area leaders say publicity for the local council elections has been low, compounded by the absence of a designated public holiday.
Realize that even today wasn't declared a public holiday. Even next week, we are having 27th January electing our leaders at mayor level and also as the city division leaders. Now, how comes then we shall continue in February on 4th, we shall have LC3 level leadership being elected. But how comes today is not a public holiday? Where is that respect for local governance? How comes today we can be that people are not even in the know that key people are supposed to be elected? As look at service delivery, the first person you look for.
They further allege that misinformation circulating about a possible strike discouraged voters from turning up.
Today it has been a good work because the voters' material came earlier, very early. The voters' material were already at the station. Though
the voters have not turned in number, because even right now some of the tallying whatever boxes they have not yet opened them. Reason, the voters don't know that they are supposed to vote today. They don't know because they refuse publicity to take some publicity to the people. They need silence in the country, so we have not communicated using microphones and so on to tell the people that they're supposed to come and vote. Some they know, but few have not come.
Ian Cheyune, NRM, Naja Nasif Nob, and Nafero Flavia DF are contesting for the Wakiso District LC5 chairperson seat.
All right, I'm joined with my colleague Dorothy Namuyomba in sign language interpretation as we continue to give you more updates from across the country. Now on to Butembo district. They have cancelled elections for the district chairpersons and councillors after establishing that the number of ballot papers delivered was less than the number of registered voters. We have the details.
Authorities in Butembo district have cancelled elections for district chairperson and councillors after establishing that the number of ballot papers delivered was less than the number of registered voters. The cancellation was confirmed by NRM National Treasurer Honorable Barbara Nekesa Oundo, who called upon the Electoral Commission to fast-track the process of identifying a new polling date and addressing all related shortcomings.
So we want to urge our people who had come out in numbers in Butembo to vote for their leader at district level. Let them exercise patience. We are working around the clock first to establish what might have led to that. We need an investigation done very fast to establish what informed such acts of sabotaging the will of the people of Butembo, and also denying the people their right to vote at such a time when the entire country is engaged in voting. But we shall also need to appeal to the Independent Electoral Commission to quickly organize an election so that the people of Butembo can elect a leader and the district takes off.
She expressed confidence that NRM would perform strongly across the Bukedi sub-region despite the low turnout, which attributed to voter fatigue following presidential and parliamentary elections.
But the turnout has been low, and I think this is explained by the fact that as we were mobilizing, we might have focused on our policy, selling our policies and educating our people on how to vote. And I think we forgot to sensitize our people on the roles and responsibilities, the mandate and their significance of these respective levels. Because to me, I would think that our people would have even attached more importance to the voting at district level. I think going forward, we shall not only do political mobilization and focus on the how to vote, but we shall also have to bring in the component of teaching our people the relevancy, the mandate, the significance of these respective lower council administrative units.
And today people are not so many because others, after electing president and the MPs, others went back to their jobs, so they are not in the villages to participate in this election.
I think it is because of what the MPs does during the election. They give out to finishing, but with the LOC5, because of the little salary they expected there, they don't give the finishing, and people are only motivated to come to vote because of finishing.
Nekesa further revealed that in Busia district, the party had carried out thorough mobilization and was confident of sweeping the seat.
The NRM in this district, particularly Busia, we have been galvanizing support across the district for the last 4 years. The turnout at our rallies, the turnout during the last election, and this is informed by work that has been done over the past 4 years. So we are confident that tonight the NRM will be declared the winner of the LOC5 district seat, and also the members of the council, the district council. I'm confident that 99% of them shall be NRM.
As Ugandans exercise their right to elect leaders at the district level, NRM candidates in Kasese district have expressed optimism that victory is within reach. According to the incumbent LC5 chairperson for Kasese district, Mr. Elifaz Muhindi Bukombi, the NRM's strong showing in parliamentary elections across the district is also expected to reflect in the LC5 results. However, low voter turnout was recorded at many polling stations across the district. Some voters attributed the low turnout to it being a market day, while others cited low morale among opposition supporters following the parliamentary election losses.
First election laid the foundation on which we are going to stand. NRM won the elections for the president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and all the 6 members of parliament were all NRM in Kasese district. That's already a foundation on which everybody is building. And I believe all the NRM flag bearers in Kasese for Chairman LC5, woman councillor, and the directly elected male councillor. We are anticipating victory for all of us.
Niturora abatezi ba karo tubakwiza buri kiro nindora omwanya guri konka tugurinko bwezere ko twakomera ninhira abantu abakatali kyabatanga kwiza kukoma katulinde gasaha tutandika saha 7:08 basobora kwiza kukoma bituntorora omwanya abantu balihabo kukoma itunihira baija kwiza.
There is low voter turnout at my polling station and other polling stations that I've moved to. I attribute this mainly to being a market day throughout the district. People have gone to do their business first, and I'm sure by 3 p.m. they should be able to come and vote. Then the other reason is the people who lost in the parliamentary and presidential elections are not having morale. They are demoralized to come and vote again, maybe in fear that they could lose again.
The National Resistance Movement MP flag bearer for Jonam County in Pakwach district in the recently concluded elections, Berochan Epifani, has called upon the Electoral Commission to take collective action to restore the credibility of the institution during the electoral processes. Berochan says the Jonam County parliamentary election was marred by malpractices, intimidation and illegal campaigning on polling day.
On January 15, 2026, Uganda went to the polls to elect the president and members of parliament, where President Museveni emerged president-elect for the 2026-2031 term with 71.65% of the vote.
Yoweri to Havurwa Kaguta Museveni, 7,946,772.
In the same regard, NRM support in Pakwach district increased from 61% in 2021 to 72.14% in 2026, reflecting strengthened confidence in the party.
Pakwach district and Jonam constituency overwhelmingly voted for you, Your Excellency. While on my own behalf, I would like to extend my appreciation to colleagues in the NRM party that made it to the 12th parliament.
However, according to the NRM flag bearer for Jonam County parliamentary seat, Berochan Epifani, he is dissatisfied with the election outcomes in the region, citing malpractices and intimidation by security agencies.
I feel aggrieved by the nature in which the Electoral Commission staff in Pakwach handled the election, and also for inaction of our security teams whenever these matters were brought to their attention. Colleagues, other issues we faced in this election included denial of access to polling stations to my fully appointed and duly nominated polling agents who were spread in each of the 206 polling stations across Jonam voting. For example, in Alui sub-county, there were deliberate attempts by the commission staff to switch off all the 22 biometric voter verification kits which were fully operational. This would later allow room for electoral malpractice.
He says that, despite seeking redress from Electoral Commission officials at the district on polling day, all efforts were in vain, prompting him to call upon the EC chairperson to take collective action.
Appealing to you to take action. We have a number of things to share with you confidentially relating to the conduct of the election in Pakwach. I am appealing to you, Your Excellency, the people of Jonam have voted for you overwhelmingly on account of the strong messages we put. But the same message could not be tailored to vote for the Jonam parliamentary seat. And this is the third time a candidate holding the flag for Jonam has lost in the constituency.
Having garnered over 20,755 votes, Berokan says legal and constitutional avenues are being pursued regarding a post-boycott petition. The Jonam County parliamentary election was won by independent candidate Marshall Alenyo, who polled 23,294 votes. Rebecca Nantongo, Moriniga, for UBC News.
Special announcement. The NRM Secretariat wishes to sincerely appreciate all Ugandans for re-electing President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and majority of NRM parliamentary flag bearers in the recent concluded elections to lead the country for the next 5 years. As we continue to celebrate the attained victory, the NRM Secretariat also wishes to remind all Ugandans and the general public that elections for the district chairpersons, Kampala Lord Mayor, mayors and councillors will take place on Thursday, the 22nd of January 2026, while voting for the municipality, city division chairpersons and councillors will be held on the 27th of January 2026 across the country. Let us stand up and vote to assert our choices as we protect our gains. Long live President Museveni, long live NRM. This message is brought to you by the NRM Secretariat.
The Ministry of Works and Transport, in collaboration with the Uganda Police Force, is rolling out the mandatory motor vehicle inspection services as one of the interventions to improve road safety, protect the environment, and safeguard the health and well-being of the public. The key items for inspection are the braking system, suspension system, the lighting system, the exhaust emissions, and the general mechanical conditions of the vehicles, among others. The exercise has commenced for all government vehicles, public service vehicles PSVs, operating on fixed routes with route charts, private omnibuses PMOs, tourist vehicles, and those as may be referred by the Uganda Police Force in a dangerous mechanical condition. Other categories including private vehicles, light omnibuses, taxis, trucks and motorcycles will begin on a date to be communicated by the Minister of Works and Transport. The vehicle inspection centers are Kawanda on Bombo Road and Namamve on Jinja Road for motorcycles, light and heavy vehicles, Nabingo on Masaka Road and Namulanda on Entebbe Road for motorcycles and light vehicles. Mbale, Gulu and Barra inspection centers are for all categories of vehicles. The inspection fees have been significantly reduced to ensure compliance. Get your vehicles ready for inspection. Safer vehicles, safer road users, safer journeys. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Welcome back from that break. We're glad you're still with us. All right, now President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appointed Justice Dr. Flavian Zeija as the new Chief Justice of Uganda. The appointment comes shortly after the retirement of former Chief Justice Alfonso Winyedolo, who officially retired on January 18, 2026 after attaining the mandatory retirement age of 70 years. But who is Justice Flavian Zeija? Deborah Namamonde traces Zeija's rise to the highest office in Uganda's Temple of Justice.
In the exercise of powers confirmed upon the President and Article 142(1) of the 1995 Constitution and acting on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appointed Honorable Justice Dr. Flavian Zeija as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Uganda. Justice Flavian Zeija has been vetted by the Parliament of Uganda. Zeija succeeds Justice Alphonse Chigamoyi Owunyidolo, who retired, in accordance with Article 144 of the Constitution. Born on February 18, 1969, in western Uganda, Justice Dr. Flavian Zeija is a highly respected lawyer, academic and a jurist, now stepping into the role of the Uganda's top judicial officer. After completing his lower education, Zaija joined Makerere University in 1993, where he obtained a Bachelor's of Laws degree. In 1996, he later acquired a postgraduate diploma in law from Law Development Center. In 1997, he went on to earn a Master of Laws degree from Makerere University in 2002, a Doctor of Philosophy in Law from the University of Dar es Salaam in 2013, and a Master of Business Administration from Uganda Matters University in 2018. Justice Jaiza enrolled as an advocate of High Court in 1998 and practiced law with Jaiza Mokasani Company Advocates in Kampala. He also served as a lecturer at Uganda Christian University and worked extensively as a legal consultant. His professional journey began in 1998 as a legal assistant with Kwesigabo Bamwini Walwiri and Company Advocates. Between 2002 and 2003, he worked at Tropical Bank Africa as a manager legal and recovery before later serving as a legal counsel at Finca Uganda Limited. Justice Dr. Flavian Zaija has been a member of the Institute of Chartered Secretariats and Administrators of the United Kingdom since 2012. He joined the judiciary as a High Court judge in 2016 and served as a resident judge of the Mbarara High Court Circuit. In December 2019, he was appointed Principal Judge of Uganda. In February 2025, he was elevated to the Deputy Chief Justice, replacing Justice Richard Ibutera upon his retirement.
Chief Justice Emeritus, he led a team, and I'm sure you never had any bickering, even for a single day. If we bickered, then we bickered in the boardroom and ended there. You never had anything outside. I think this has been the best leadership where there has been no jostling in top management. And I thank you for it.
Justice Fabian Zaija has served as a Deputy Chief Justice until his last appointment as Chief Justice of Uganda. Now aged 57, Justice Dr. Fabian Zaija will turn 58 next month. His appointment followed a highly competitive selection process that included Supreme Court Justices Justice Mike Chibita, Justin Catherine Bamugemeleile.
Right, and we do wish the new Chief Justice the very best in his tenure in office. Now, away from that, Mulago National Referral Hospital has successfully carried out a complex surgery procedure to separate conjoined twins, commonly known as Siamese twins. Unfortunately, one of the twins was severely underdeveloped and did not survive the operation. The successful surgery was conducted by a multidisciplinary team of specialists at Mulago National Referral Hospital. And speaking after the procedure, the hospital's executive director, Dr. Rosemary Byanyima, confirmed that the surgery went well and the surviving baby is in a stable condition and recovering well.
Mulago National Referral Hospital has successfully carried out a complex surgical procedure to separate conjoined twins. Unfortunately, one of the twins was severely undeveloped and did not survive the operation. Since 2012, Mulago National Referral Hospital has successfully performed more than 8 surgical procedures involving conjoined twins, with the most recent case referred from Jinja Regional Referral Hospital. The mother of twins, a 21-year-old Rachel Nantongo from Boyogerere, says she had traveled to Jinja to visit her mother-in-law when she unexpectedly went into labor. She was rushed to Jinja Regional Referral Hospital, where she delivered the conjoined twins before being referred to Mulago for specialized care.
Olubuto gye lwannumira nga lunnuma nnyo ne tugenda mu ddwaliro naye lwali terunnatuusa nga kubulako wiikisi 2. abasawo ne bagamba sigenda sobola sindika ne bansala kati mu kunsala omwana n'avaayo ng'aliko munne kwe kutusindika ejjinja wetwatuuka ejjinja ne bagamba tebajja kusobola ne batusindika e Mulago.
Nantongo says she was shocked when she first saw her babies, noting that she had faithfully attended antenatal care and undergone more than 3 ultrasound scans, all of which indicated a single normal pregnancy with no detected abnormalities.
Kakutya natya naye nagenda nkimanyira abasawo baŋŋamba mwana onomumanyira neŋŋuma mpulira bulungi kubanga oli bamugjeeko kati omwana agenda atereeramu naye wali abadde nga antiisa.
She expressed gratitude to the pediatric surgeons and management of Mulago National Referral Hospital for saving her baby and for the professional care and support provided throughout the process. Doctors explained that the twins were joined at a lower back, with one twin also connected to the rectum. The delicate separation surgery took over 2.5 hours. Meanwhile, Mulago National Referral Hospital has announced an ongoing pediatric surgical camp, dubbed Back to School Surgical Camp, targeting school-going children with various surgical conditions. Dr. Stella Nimanya, pediatric surgeon at Mulago National Referral Hospital, noted that the camp targets infants through adolescents and highlighted the challenge of heavy backload of pediatric surgical cases at the hospital.
Conditions we've been able to do as per the emergencies. We had a parasitic twin that we separated. We've had some babies born without anal openings, 1-day-old, 2-day-olds that we've operated. We've had some children with liver problems that we've actually had surgery done for those, and some other children with blocked intestine. For the back-to-school goers, we've mainly done umbilical hernias, inguinal hernias. Some children born without testes, we've been able to bring their testes and put them in the right location. And that's basically mainly what we've been doing for the camp so far.
Mulago Hospital Management also announced an upcoming spine surgical camp scheduled to begin on January 26, 2026, aimed at reducing the backlog of spinal cases. In addition, the hospital is organizing the 5th edition of the kidney transplant program, where 8 patient pairs are expected to undergo transplant surgeries.
Our spine surgeons, we have 4 in number, continue to work on patients. But this one, we intensify to kind of clear the backload. Well, before we finish the surgical camp, we shall again embark on renal transplant. So that will work for 2 weeks, and we have lined up 8 pairs. So we need your prayers. But so far, all the 12 patients we've worked on are doing well.
Hospital administrators have called for strengthened referral systems across the country to ensure timely treatment of patients, ease pressure on Mulago National Referral Hospital, and ultimately improve health outcomes nationwide. Zahara Abigaba, BBC News.
Thank you, Zahara Abigaba, for that extensive report. And indeed, the referral hospital has proven its worth for sure. That's all we had for you this evening. I'm Lauryn Masaka Kazimoto together with Dorothy Namuyomba. We will see you later.